Okay, so our next document, document number 2, is going to be what did Athens and Sparta value? So I will be reading this passage to you, and you will have 2 questions to answer. Based on Pericles' speech, describe what Athenians valued most, and based on the text, describe what Spartans valued most. So for Athens, if we look to the laws, they afford equal justice all despite their differences. If a man is able to serve the state, he is not hindered by his condition. The freedom we enjoy in our government extends to our ordinary life. There, we do not feel called upon to be angry with our neighbor for doing what he likes. Advancement in politics is about potential. Social class is not allowed to determine merit or being worthy of something. Our ordinary citizens, though occupied with personal businesses, are still fair judges of public issues. At Athens, we live exactly as we please, and yet are just as ready to encounter every legitimate danger. To be happy means to be free. We throw open our city to the world and never exclude foreigners from any opportunity of learning or observing. So that is about Athens. Now the next one is Sparta. Instead of softening their feet with shoe or sandal, his, king of Sparta, rule was to make them hardy enough going barefoot. So they want everyone to be barefoot. He believed that this would allow them to climb hills and run. In fact, with his feet so trained, the young Spartan would leap and spring and run faster without shoes than another in the ordinary way. Instead of making them effeminate, which is ladylike, and spoiled with a variety of clothes, the rule was to give them one piece of clothing the entire year. They would wear the same piece of clothing whether it was hot or cold. This taught them to be brave in all weather. With regards to food, young boys received small amounts of food. It was believed that young boys needed to know the pains of starvation, so starving, not having enough food. From childhood until age 30, a Spartan prepared to be part of the military state. Officials examined every newborn, and sickly children were abandoned to die. So if a child was sick, they left them to die. At the age of 7, boys moved to military camps and began training for the military. At the age of 20, a man could marry, but he could not leave the military camp until he was 30. Okay, so now you're going to answer based on this text, what did they value? Athens and Sparta. After you do that, moving on to the next slide of the PowerPoint, you're going to be watching this video, which is a recap of life in Athens and Sparta, and I want you to take notes on this graphic organizer. In the video, it's going to go through each of these components from lifestyle all the way to slaves, and I just want you to jot down in the Athens and Sparta columns about each of those components. And the final task of this whole lesson is going to be your exit ticket. So now it's your opinion. Which city-state would you rather live in? So you're going to have to choose between Athens and Sparta. You're going to explain using specific details. Be sure to include the following. Restate the question. Explanation using 3 pieces of evidence from the text or the videos. Go back to that graphic organizer on the page before this to help you answer this exit ticket. And you do need a concluding sentence. Remember, at least 5 sentences makes up our paragraph, and you can type right on here.